guys, thanks so much for coming back to Be Read Style. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about what it's like to be a VIP kid teacher and also be black. So before we get started with this video, I just want to put out a disclaimer. I am technically biracial. My mom is white and my dad is Nigerian, and basically I am biracial, but by popular assumption I am black. Everybody that I know thinks I'm black. In America, all my Chinese students think I'm black. So for the purposes of this video, I do think that I can speak on being a black teacher because I am. So let's just go ahead and hop into this video. I just want to share with you guys my experience as a black teacher. I get this question a lot, and the reason is because a lot of the big YouTubers that put out information on what it's like to be a VIP kid teacher, they are not black. And so a lot of times black teachers or black prospective teachers are wondering, what is it like, girl? Like, am I going to get bookings? Am I going to have issues? There's a lot of common misconceptions and a lot of stereotypes about what Chinese people think about black people and what black people think about teaching online. And so I just want to clear up some of the assumptions. I do not speak for all black people in all black experiences. There are many different shades and hues of black people, much lighter than I am to darker skin tones. And as a result, you know, people have different experiences. So obviously I can't speak on all black people. I can just speak on my experience. So I want to go ahead and get started with this video. So I'm going to do this kind of interview style because I think that would be extremely helpful, giving you guys a few of the questions that I have received and answering those questions for you guys. So one of the main questions I have received from my referrals is, do you have issues getting booked as a black teacher? And the answer is no. I can tell you, after teaching 1,300 plus classes with VIPKID and maybe 100 something classes with GOGOKID, I have not ever had an issue getting booked because of the color of my skin, period. I have had no issues at all. Many of my students love me and their parents really value me. I have over 600 5-star reviews. I have 0 negative reviews on my page. I have only 2 good reviews. Out of all of the classes that I have taught, I have never had an issue with getting booked or having parents or students treat me differently because I am a different skin tone. I will share later on in this video 2 experiences out of 1,300 of students that I felt were racially or culturally insensitive. I can't really call them racist. They are, after all, just children and products of their environment. And so they made me feel uncomfortable, but that's 2 out of 1,300 students. So that leads me to the next question that I received. Do you feel like parents or students make you feel uncomfortable for being black? And the answer again is no. I have had so much love and warmth from China, from my Chinese students. I have received gifts in the mail. I have received cards and letters. I have received virtual gifts. I have received money on WeChat. I have received so much from my students, and obviously I didn't accept the money. I sent it back. But I have received so much from my students. And regardless of your color or your race or your ethnicity, parents treat you with love and respect if you are a good teacher. If you are teaching their students English and you are a good teacher and you're passionate about what you do, that will be reciprocated no matter what color you are. I think a lot of times people think, oh, I'm getting treated X kind of way. I'm getting treated this kind of way or that kind of way because of X, Y, or Z. When in all actuality, there's a lot of work that can be done as a teacher to improve. And we all have improvements that we can make. And I think that a lot of it has to do more so with their culture. They really value timeliness. They value seriousness. How serious are you in teaching their child English? How serious do you take your job? How passionate are you? How excited are you to be there? Are you awake, alert, and ready? Are you dressed professionally? Are you presenting yourself in a way that is positive. And if that is the case, I guarantee you, no matter what shade or color you are, I have had dark-skinned teachers, light-skinned teachers, teachers from all different shades and hues and different backgrounds, African teachers of African descent, and, basically all different types of teachers share their experiences. And for the most part, it really is a positive experience. I have seen other people on YouTube, make comments about they think it's because I'm black or whatever that I'm not getting booked or whatever the case may be. And that could be true for that teacher. It could be. But I have to say that out of all the teachers that I know of, if the teacher has a professional, nice background and props and TPR and doing a good job as a teacher and really giving it their all, no, girl, it might be something else. It might be something else. I'm not saying that teachers do not get racially discriminated on, because I have seen several posts where, teachers have been called slaves and this, that, and the third. And obviously there are going to be some outliers out there. There are going to be students that are just plain ignorant. And by ignorant, I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I just mean simply you are not aware of what you're saying and what you're doing. You are a child, and maybe you have learned things along the way as a child that you are reiterating and basically, projecting onto your teacher. But for the most part, that has not been my experience. So there are several lessons, I think, in Unit 6 that talk about American heroes. And I love, love, love VIP Kid for raising cultural awareness and making sure that these students are taught about something other than, Abraham Lincoln and Christopher Columbus, which we know, honey, is some of the tea that the children are taught in American schools. They do not go in depth in American schools 9 times out of 10 in African American or Black history. They have your one little month where they talk about Black history, and they go over your heavy hitters, your Martin Luther King or your Rosa Parks, but they don't go into depth about what these movers and shakers in our society actually did for Black people in this country. And one thing I love about VIP Kid is they have a whole unit dedicated to real American heroes, and they do talk about some of the ones that we are used to hearing about, your Martin Luther King, your Rosa Parks, but they go in depth. They talk about their history as a child and what they went through, their education. They talk about everything that is possible in a 25-minute lesson. And I really appreciate it because there are so many students that already know so much. My Chinese students, some of them, I was laughing with another Black teacher because I was like, they are more woke than some of your American students, and they know more Black history than some of your American students. And that is the honest to God truth. I have learned from students about Kwanzaa. I didn't really too much, if I'm being 100% honest, I didn't know what dates Kwanzaa was celebrated. I didn't know about the Unity Candle. I didn't know about the different things that are celebrated in the Kwanzaa tradition. And I had students teaching me, girl, about Kwanzaa. And so my point is that I really appreciate VIP Kid for putting this content in the lessons and making it an important part of the students' education. And these students, I've had students say, teacher, I can't believe that, they treated people this way, that they enslaved people. And obviously there's slavery in every culture. And that's not what this video is about, but the students were sympathetic and empathetic and asking me questions. Teacher, do you feel as if, because of the color of your skin, you are treated differently in America? What is your experience? And I have to say that it makes you feel so good as a teacher to feel like these students care. And that really is something that if you don't teach VIP Kid, you might not know. So that's why I'm here to share with you guys. These students are extremely smart and they learn a lot about different cultures. And that's why many of their parents choose a Black teacher. They want their child to have the experience of learning from someone that they've never seen before. They've never seen. Some of my students, I'm the first Black person they've ever seen. Some of my students, I'm the first Black woman they've ever interacted with. And so I hold a great obligation and I hold a great responsibility to my students to show them what it means to me to be a Black woman. Strong, intelligent, empathetic, caring, loving, happy, nice. Defying some of the stereotypes that they may have been taught, that black people are lazy, or black people are mean, or black people are aggressive, or black people are hostile. You know, some of these stereotypes that have been passed down and have been passed across cultures. And so I do take that responsibility very seriously. And I want them to say, you know, if they hear on the street, if they hear from one of their friends, oh, black people are this or black people are that, they can say, no, I have a friend in America who is black and she is incredible. She's amazing. She is everything. You know what I mean? And so I want to be an example of black excellence to these students. And that's what I want to really implore to other teachers, you know, I'm not saying that you have to defy stereotypes or anything like that for your students if that's not what you want to do, but I'm just saying that you might be the first and only black person that these students encounter. And so you are responsible, you know, for how you represent yourself and how you represent the black community. And so I'm very passionate about this because I love my students, and my experience with VIP Kid has been fantastic as a black teacher. I have learned more about black history in teaching some of my students than I ever learned in school, to be quite honest. Now, obviously, I have a college education. I learned quite a bit in college, but I just mean on a very simplistic, basic level. Some of these concepts were not taught in school. And so it's given me great pleasure to revisit some of these topics with my students, and also, you know, be able to share my experience as a black person and be able to pass along you know, what it's like to be black in America, the good and the bad. So I'm happy to share with my students that, you know, we are not done. You know, in America, we still have a lot of work that needs to be done. I had a student one time tell me, he said, oh, teacher, you had black president, and I hear he just like to play basketball. He kind of lazy. And that was a teachable moment where I was able to explain to my student how I felt about President Obama and the changes that he has made in our country and the advances that he has made in our country, not just for black people, but for all people, and how incredible he really is. And so I was able to teach my student. And so that, to me, you guys, most times when these situations arise, is a teachable moment. You can't sit and get butt hurt, for lack of a better word, to these students for making comments that they are just repeating. So that's going to lead me into my experiences, the two experiences that I had. One experience that I had with a student was we were teaching the color unit, and my student kept saying, teacher, you are black. You are black, teacher. You are black like dog. And he kept saying it in a very negative way, almost as if like if he wasn't at level 2 and he had a little bit more English that he was able to utilize, he would have been able to insult me a little bit better. But he wasn't able to because of his limited English. And so the way that I handled that situation was I basically told the student, I am not black like a dog. I am black and beautiful. And there is beauty in every shade and every hue in every culture. In America, we see people of all different colors and shapes and sizes. And being different is beautiful. And his mom actually responded to me and said, I thank the teacher for her patience. I thank the teacher for educating my son and being very patient with my son. He was just being rude and irresponsible in class, and I apologize. And, you know, I told her I don't take any offense, because at the end of the day, a person on the other side of the screen does not determine how I feel about me. Only I can determine that. He can't ruin my day. Do you know what I mean? So he tried to be insulting, but I made it a learning experience. And then, oh my gosh, the other experience was so long ago. It was at the beginning of my teaching with VIP Kid. And the student just kept taunting me. She was just like, you're black, teacher is black, ew, teacher is black, ooh, teacher is black. And again, I explained the exact same way that I did my previous student. There's beauty in every shade. Oh, don't you think it is great? Teacher is brown. It's beautiful, yes? So cute. Don't you love being different? I love being different. I love being different from you. I love to learn about you, and you can learn about me. And just meeting that student with kindness, eventually she really felt uncomfortable and she stopped. So that was another experience. And then I had one other, I do this because it wasn't, he didn't mean it in a negative way, but me knowing what I know about being Black, I could have taken offense to it if I wanted to, but I chose not to, of course. But I had a really sweet student that I was teaching one day, and he said, "Oh, teacher, you are so beautiful." I said, "Oh, thank you." And, we were talking back and forth, and somehow we got to me saying, "Oh, I am brown. I am brown. Have you seen a brown person before?" Something of that. It was a long time ago. So it was something of that nature. And he said, "No, teacher, you are not brown. You are not brown. Teacher is very white. Teacher is very white." And I was like, "No, I'm not white. I'm brown. Can you see? Do your glasses work? Teacher is brown." Just, kind of joking with the student. And he was so adamant, "Teacher is white, teacher is white." And it's because that in certain parts of China, to be seen as the whiter, the better, basically. And in some parts of the United States, amen. But no tea, no shade. But he just went on, and I explained in the feedback that I know that he was trying to give me a compliment, but in America, we are perfectly okay being brown. We are happy to be brown. We love being brown. We embrace our brownness over here, and just making it an educational experience for that student who was so adamant about telling me that I was white so as to please me, so as to basically say, "Oh, you don't have to worry about being brown, girl. You're white. You're just as white as it gets, and that is beautiful." So I just thought it wasn't like he was being racist. He was just trying to flatter me, but he didn't understand that by continuing to deny me the ability to be brown or Black, that it could be construed as insulting. So I definitely explained in depth in the feedback to the parent about what it's like. In the feedback to the parent to say, it's perfectly fine. We love our skin tones, and we're happy to be who we are. So the last question that I get is, how is it different being a Black teacher on the VIPKID platform? And if I'm being honest, I have to say that there is no difference. Like, we just are who we are. There may be students that say little things here and there every now and again. As I said, can you do the math on the percentage of 3 instances out of 1,300? That's a very low percentage of students that have even mentioned or made comments about the color of my skin. I think as a person, if you are busting your ass to do a good job with VIPKID, and you are meeting the requirements, and you are teaching the material, and you are a good teacher, and you have a good background, and you have a positive energy and a positive personality, your students will love you, period. Your parents will love you, period. And if you do get that student here or there that wants to make a comment or this or that, it's not going to change the thousands of other students and the thousands of other wonderful experiences where students marvel at how beautiful they think you are, or marvel at how amazing and different they think you are. You can be yourself and you will be accepted and loved. And I encourage you to, if you have not applied with VIPKID, give it a try. You're going to absolutely love it. The link is in the bio that you can click on and apply for VIPKID. You can also put in my referral code and I can help you through the process. I look forward to talking to other teachers. If you are a Black teacher, share your experience down below with other teachers. Let them know, what your experience is, if it's different from mine, if it's the same as mine, and just be free to have a discussion in the comment section below. Okay, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.